Do it. Fuck! Hey guys, I'm Grant, this is Zero Progress, and welcome back to the reviewed footage. This is the series where I will be reviewing all found footage movies. Wait a minute. What do you mean, all? So today I'll be going to be watching Area 51, which is the follow-up movie from director Oren Peli, and you probably are aware of him or know him from his one-hit wonder, Paranormal Activity. That movie, you know? The one that kind of revitalized this whole genre. He made Paranormal Activity and got the rest made, and I guess Area 51 was a bit of a passion project for him. The problem was, it was in development for years, it was tinkered with for a long time, it was shelved. I know that there were reports of a lot of reshoots. I guess it didn't really come together in the correct vision he wanted. I don't know, this is all speculation, who cares? But yeah, this was his follow-up directorial movie to Paranormal Activity, and it was kind of just unceremoniously dropped on VOD, not really given a theatrical release or anything like that. So let's go ahead and check it out and see how it stacks up. Alright, well that was Area 51, and I guess I should go ahead and say now that you can expect spoilers throughout this discussion, because you're not going to watch this movie. I know you're not going to watch this movie. I barely watched this movie. I watched this movie 3 times. As you know, this is Area 51, directed by Oren Peli, the guy who made this classic. And essentially, the setup for this movie is these bros all go to a party and their buddy Reed disappears randomly while they're doing karaoke, and then they find him stumbling in the middle of the road later at night, and they just think he's drunk, and he suddenly becomes obsessed with UFOs, and there's more going on. So from there, he meets this random chick on the internet who says her father used to work at Area 51, and when he died, the government came in and took all his documents, but she saved some, and they use that to come up with this plan to break in. Other than that, it's pretty boring up until they get into the desert at night and break into the facility.
It would be easier to rob a bank than to break into Area 51.
It's the size of Connecticut. How are they going to patrol all that?
No one has ever seen footage of the base, and we could be the first ones to do it. What could be bigger than that?
Before my dad disappeared, he asked me to move all of his files to someplace secret.
Everything above ground is just a front. The real base is a mile underground.
But it's like 20 minutes of setup to get to the break-in part, and all of that was just a slog to watch just to get through. The break-in has some cool moments, them going through the desert to get to Area 51 and wearing these suits that disguise their heat and like avoiding motion sensors and shit like that. And then eventually they break in and they use the key card they stole from when they broke into that dude's house to get into the facility, and they keep getting deeper and deeper in, and I guess you're supposed to suspend your disbelief into how no one catches them as they're just blatantly walking through. And I guess Area 51 doesn't have any cameras. I guess cameras aren't a thing except in the one scene they pointed out. But yeah, them breaking in their brief time exploring the complex is pretty cool, especially when they find some alien tech. That's some neat stuff. But from there is when they finally get to the bottom, the lowest you can get in the facility, and the alarms start going off, and that's when I think the movie takes a bit of a downward turn.
There's motion sensors, there's ammonia sensors, but we're gonna get around
These neomycin pills will mask our ammonia levels.
Thermal cameras all around the base pick up your body heat. So we're gonna pump Freon through the suit,
and they'll mask our body temperature.
Tell me why you're doing this.
Something happened to me.
I don't see Reed. I think he is lost.
Whole bunch of missing time. Something is pulling me towards the base.
I didn't think it was actually gonna get this far.
Let's go.
You really ready for the consequences?
Am I clear? Yeah, let's go. There it is. This is Area 51.
The other two, Reed and the chick, end up going deeper and deeper into the facility, And that's when it finally sets up the aliens, and you see what's being hidden in Area 51, and it's like these caves, and there's these creepy dolls and like children's clothes down there, and I don't know what they were supposed to be implying. I guess we were keeping the aliens trapped in these caverns underneath Area 51. I don't know. And then he gets deeper in the facility, and like they're crawling through a vent, and then they fall into what's revealed to be an alien spaceship, which I guess was underground and took off. But we don't. It just becomes like this really weird jumbled mess, unfortunately, at the end, where you're just kind of left going, huh? And while that should be expected to be par for the course for these type of movies, unfortunately, it doesn't mean I can't be annoyed and frustrated when it happens.
The helicopter! Get down! Get down! Get down!
Keep moving.
Turn on the thermal. The last button's pressed will be the warmest.
It goes way down there. What is this?
Look at this. Anti-gravity.
This is not military technology. This is something else. Dude, there's white blood in there. This is huge. Oh. Ah! Check this out. These cages?
And they look like holding cells.
Oh my god. Why are these down here?
But jumbled mess of an ending aside, let me go ahead and put forth the way I see the plot of this film, what I think the whole thing was, and all the weird shit that happens is implying and stuff like that. I think Reed, when he was abducted in the beginning, like was experimented on or something by the aliens and we don't see, and he was basically used as a pawn by the aliens to break into Area 51 and set some things in motion where they would basically have the opportunity to escape, and they escape at the end, and that's why he's all weird while they're in the facility. And there's a few times where he stops and has a headache, where he's like, oh, there's something, oh, you didn't hear that? You know, it's the aliens manipulating him, and that's what all that was. It was him being manipulated, and his end reward is he just gets to be abducted with his friends who don't make it out either, which I guess the aliens care about a cover-up. I don't know why they would bother going after his friends, other than the fact that I guess it's a movie and they need to wrap up everything. But yeah, that's everything I can think of to say about like the plot and stuff. And I guess my final thoughts on Area 51 is that it's a shame. It was a little disappointing because I was hoping it would end up being something on par with Paranormal Activity, just with aliens and stuff, but really it wasn't. I understand why it was shelved for so long, which is a shame. I feel like it's a missed opportunity. There is something I feel like you could do with people breaking into Area 51. I just don't think they did it like the best way they could have.
They're coming! Get out of here! Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's right behind you!
What is this place? Oh my god.
So yeah, those were my final thoughts on the film. It was a bit of a disappointment, I guess a bit of a missed opportunity, especially from the Paranormal Activity guy. So yeah, that's everything I gotta say. I guess subscribe if you like it, comment down below. And I guess next episode we will be watching I know of this. I've never gone around to watching it because it's a YouTube thing. At least it's 40 minutes.